Today I'll teach you how to perform server-side validation for GST number in ASP.NET MVC. So let's start. Now inside the class, I am adding a namespace called system.componentModel.data annotations. This particular namespace is required for data annotations. Here I'll be adding one single property called GST number, which will be a string property. At present I am adding a data annotation display and I am setting the name for it. As you can see, I am adding a data annotation required and I am setting the error message for it. This particular data annotation is used for performing required validations. It is very similar to required field validator. Now I am decorating the property with a RegularExpression data annotation attribute. This particular attribute will be set with two parameters. The first parameter is the RegularExpression, which will be used for validating the GST number, while the second parameter is the error message, which will be displayed to the user when the validation fails. So with this, our model class is complete. Now let's move to the view. Now I'm creating a form using MVC HTML helper method. I'm making use of begin form method. It accepts three parameters. The first one is name of the action result method, which is index. The second one is name of the controller, which is home. And the third one is the type of call. In this scenario, it is a post call. Now inside the form, I am creating an HTML table, and within the HTML table, the very first thing which I am adding is a label element for displaying the label for our text box. So for that, I am making use of label for function and I'll be binding it to the property. Label for function will simply display the name of the property inside the label element. The next thing I am adding is a text box, and for text box, I am making use of text box for method. That too, I am binding with the property. And the third thing which I am adding is the validation message element, which will be used to display the validation error message, and I am binding it to the property. Now here you will notice I am adding a attribute named class. This is required for setting the CSS class so that our message is displayed in red color. Now finally, I am adding a submit button, which when clicked by the user will submit the form to the action result method. Now let's move to the controller. Inside the controller, now I am adding an action result method for handling post call. The reason is that I'll be submitting a form. So that form will be submitted to this particular method. I am naming it as index and I am passing the person model class object as parameter. Inside the action method, the state of the submitted model is checked using model_state.isValid property. In the end, the view function is written which completes the action result method. Here I am decorating the method with the HTTP post attribute. So with this we complete our programming part, and now it's time to run our project and see it in action. The text box and the button has been rendered, and also the required validation is working fine. Now I'll be adding GST number in the text box. So as you can see, the validation is working fine. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon. Goodbye.